We build locally and we grow internationally.
Your story, my friend, is amazing, and everyone, they need to hear it.
But one day that company disappeared, and the dream that I had to grow to that company and become multimillionaire disappeared. I had to work 3 jobs after that. I got into real estate, but then the market crashed. I came at the wrong time. And then I went back to 3 jobs, and that's when I found network marketing. So when I hit the $1,000 in a month, I say, if I can make $1,000 in a month, I can make 2, I can make 4, I can make 5, I can make 10,000. And it's a mindset combined with action. It start happening like miracles. You start connecting with the right people, you start becoming better.
You help people make millions of dollars too. How do you build international business over 20 countries? How do you do that? Welcome to Edgardo Valdivieso Show. And today we have a very special guest, a good friend of mine that I know him for years. George Ruiz is a very successful person, well-known international, has done business in over 20 countries. And because of that, you want to stay until the end. You don't want to miss a second, a minute of his career, of his successful story. George, welcome to the show, my friend.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I'm super excited and I'm really grateful that I am here. Thank you.
Our community, my show, is very excited and they cannot wait to hear your successful story because your story, my friend, is amazing and everyone, they need to hear it. And this is the best way in my show to tell George Ruiz's story. So let's start from the beginning. Tell us where you're from and how you became, very successful. But first of all, how you came to America, my friend.
Yeah, I came from Venezuela in the 80s. And actually, I was hired by a company. But one day that company disappeared. And the dream that I had that was going to grow to that company and become multimillionaire disappeared because the company disappeared. And then I started doing all kinds of jobs. I got into real estate for a little while, but the market crashed. I had to work 3 jobs after that. And that's when I found the business of network marketing. And I found it because they didn't find me. I was just reading a magazine, Success Magazine, that many people are familiar with it. And they have an article about network marketing. And I said, holy cow. And they said that you didn't need a lot of money to start it. And I said, I'm there. And I start calling ads. And most people never call me back, except 2 people that called me right away. And the only one keep following up. And I barely understood him because he was originally from China. And his English was not very good, and my English was terrible. That's so interesting, but he followed up. By the way, that's a good learning experience. You follow up. And then we became very good friends. The 2 of us learned at the same time how to build network marketing. And then eventually we became very successful. And that friend is Steve Lee. And many of you probably know who Steve Lee there is. He's an amazing guy. And we learned at the same time. That was funny because he was my upline and the downline, but both of us were learning at the same time. That's amazing.
A very good friend of mine, Steve Lee. He already been here on my show. But taking it from me from show, you came from Venezuela. You came to this country and you got here with no job because that company disappeared. So what happened? Yeah. You had to get a job. You went to school. What happened?
Yeah, I had to do a bunch of jobs because I was in debt because they were paying me very well. But my English was terrible. That's why I had to start from the bottom. I was washing dishes in one company, cleaning offices in the other one. I mean, different things I was doing. Eventually, my English started improving and I got into real estate. But then the market crashed. I came at the wrong time. The market crashed. And then I went back to 3 jobs. And that's when I found network
marketing.
Many
jobs?
3
How
jobs
many
at
jobs?
the same
3 jobs at the same time?
Correct.
Wow. So 1 job was not enough.
No, because I was not making enough money. I was too much in debt. And that's why I needed the 3 jobs. And then, of course, as soon as I started making X amount of money, I got rid of one. When I started making a little more, I got rid of the second one. And then when I hit $4,000 in a month, I got rid of the last one.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, because my community, they need to understand this. So you were working 3 jobs and you were looking for an opportunity. So you were looking to get involved in network marketing. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, at first I didn't know what I was going to do until I read the article about network marketing. And that's when I said, that's the business I want to do because it doesn't need a lot of investment to start off. And that's the reason I start calling ads. But yeah, little by little, start getting rid of jobs. At the beginning, many people said, well, I don't have the time. If you want to succeed, you find the time. You find the time. And that's what I did. And then I got rid of the first one, then the second one, and then eventually I went full time. From the time that I made the decision, it took me only 6 or 7 months to get rid of all the 3 jobs.
Okay, so you call an ad, right?
Correct.
You call an ad and Steve Lee answer. Okay, he called you back and got you involved in network marketing, and you didn't speak English, and Steve Lee didn't speak English too, right?
Not very well. We could understand each other, but it was very hard, very tough. But he was so excited and then so persistent because he called me every week that I joined with him. And that's so important. And plus, we connect right away. We knew we had similar background, although he came from China and I came from South America. But the background was similar. We were new in the country. We were learning at the same time the industry. And that was very powerful.
Okay, so tell me your turning point. How you became successful? What was the turning point that really made a difference in your career?
Well, as soon as I hit $1,000, because for some reason, even today, years later, $1,000 is a very important number. Because when I hit $1,000 in a month, I say, if I can make $1,000 in a month, I can make 2, I can make 4, I can make 5, I can make 10,000. That, by the way, that was my big goal at the time, the $10,000 a month, because a 6-figure income, over 100,000 a year. And that's when I realized that was my turning point. The cool thing is that then when you have that kind of mindset, you keep going up and eventually you pass even your dreams. That was the 10,000 a month. Eventually you're going to pass it. But yeah, that's my turning point, definitely.
So what you're saying here is to the community that in network marketing, you want to start part-time. So don't quit your job until you make enough.
You don't. Yeah, you have to, because you don't have to have the pressure of going full time and suddenly you don't have the income, though you have 0 income. And you don't want that. That's why in my case, I was quitting one by one until the $4,000 a month basically were more than replacing the 3 jobs. And this was in the 90s, of course. And then today, probably you need more than that if you have 3 jobs. But this is again, the turning point was the first $1,000 because I knew I can do this full time. Because again, if you know, even if you make, by the way, $200, $500, if you make $200 or $500, you can know that you can double that eventually, and you can double it again. Many people are impatient because they think that they have to make $10,000 right away. As soon as you start making money, it's enough evidence that you can make even more. As soon as you start making money, even if it's small.
So you said your turning point once you made $1,000 a month. And you keep going up until you were making $4,000 and you were able to quit all 3 jobs. And that was your turning point to become very, very successful in network marketing. Take me from making 1,000, 2,000, 4,000. How long it took you to make the first $1 million? Because everyone that gets involved in network marketing, that's their biggest challenge or the biggest dream. To achieve success, to earn $1 million in the industry.
Yes. It took me a little longer than many people. It took me about 10 years because it was around 2004, 2005 when I hit it. But then after that, the second one was faster. And the third one was faster. And the fourth one was as fast. Yeah, but again, it's so important. It's why you have to be consistent, because whatever you're doing now, doesn't matter where it is, how long is going to take you to earn that kind of money? Think about that. Here, you're creating an income that eventually become a residual income, actually from the beginning, a residual income, something that you keep bringing to your home. But in what you are doing now, how long is going to take you? Never, in most cases. Never.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important, the mindset here.
Yes. So the same way you made the first $1,000 a month, the same way when you made the first $1 million, you said, you know what? I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to go for 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million. Okay? Because your mindset was that you were not going to stop. Is that correct?
Correct. And the first one is probably the hardest one, but then after that, everything's automatic, believe it or not. But depends the way that you think, because if you think small, you're never going to get there. Thinking is so important because thinking is when it's going to get you into the action. Many people talk about the law of attraction. The law of attraction has to have action too. And it's a mindset combined with action. And that's the way that you're going to get there, because many people start strong and they make probably $10,000 really quick, but they slow down because they don't have that belief that this is going to continue or that they can go even higher. That's why you have to keep that belief that you can reach whatever goal you want, because there's no limit in this business. And Edgardo, you have seen it in your life too. There's no limit in this business except the limits that we put ourselves in our mind.
100%. And you know what? It took me myself about 9 years when I started in network marketing to make my first $1 million. So you're saying it took you $10 million. Yeah. The second was very quick. And the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one. I mean, it was like no problem at all. For all those people that are watching right now, okay, or they're listening and they're saying, George, give me an advice that I want, in network marketing from the beginning. So those kind of mistakes that most people are going to make at the beginning, that you want to give them some very key points.
Yes. Well, first of all, the process in network marketing is very simple. It's just you have the names, you connect with them, you present, and you follow up. But there's something very important that's behind that. You have to believe that that's going to work, because it's simple, but you have to believe. And as soon as you go into action, believe that it's happening, things start happening like miracles. You start connecting with the right people, you start becoming better. And even, by the way, if you don't know, you feel, oh, but I know a good presenter. There's somebody in your company that's a good presenter. Direct that person to that person's presentations, your upline or somebody else. But because the more people are looking at the information, the more you are succeed. But you have to make sure you are consistent doing that and believe. The most important is the belief. I know many people say, well, that's kind of hockey-pocky, new age, whatever. No, it's real. If you don't believe, nothing is going to happen. That's it. Simple as that. And that's why make sure. And the second part, make sure that you educate about the industry. Following up people that are successful. What are they doing? Why they're successful? Because and the success is not only the how to, but how they think. It's very important, because the how to is simple. It's in every book about network marketing that has been written, any training that has been written or done. But you have to have also to see the mindset. What are they thinking? Are they complaining all the time, or are they not? They are really believing what they can do it, or they are not. And just by looking, and by the way, you don't have even to ask the person. When you look at somebody successful, you already can see that person really has a passion for this and really believe not only that person can succeed, but can teach others to do the same thing. And that's the most important part too. Another important part, not only believe about yourself, but believe that other people can be successful. Of course, they have to take the action, but believe that there are other people there that they can and they want to do, and they are going to do the same that you're doing. And that's the way that you create teams that are successful, because you find one leader and then second leader and third leader. That's the way they start getting into the 6 and the 7-figure incomes. But you have to believe in them too. That's very important.
George, you said something very important. You said it's simple. You didn't say it's easy. Nothing is easy in life. Most people make a big mistake in this industry when they said it's easy to make money in network marketing. No, it's simple how to make money in network marketing, which what you're saying. Okay, there's a process how to do it the right way. Okay,
Agreed.
Because you're not going to there's no shortcut. There's no shortcut to become a multimillionaire like you, to have the success like you. I mean, there's a simple way how you can do it, and you're going to have some challenges on the way.
Always.
Okay, so now let me ask, is your family involved in the business?
Yes, I work with my wife, that's my life partner in the business too. We work together amazingly, because each of us had different gifts, different things together that we match each other. Yes, I work with my wife. I love to work the business together. And sometimes we don't agree in something, because it's normal. I mean, the couples, how many times you agree in 100% of everything? We never. But at the same time, we understand the business. And that's one of the reasons also that we have become successful. And that's one of the reasons I feel we are going to become even way more successful than we have been in the past, working together.
And how do you balance the personal and the business life?
Yeah, it's so important that we, and this is one of probably the hardest part for most people, especially when you go full time, because you go full time and you are used to a job where they tell you when you have to work, what you have to do. As soon as you're full time, you don't have that job or that structure. And then many people fail, because then suddenly they are totally going crazy. Because it happened to me at the beginning. I didn't know what to do, because I say, whoa, I have all the time now. But the importance is that you structure yourself, and then that way you can have a balance. And I would say more than balance, harmony. with all the other areas of your life. Because if not, you can become a workaholic, and that's not good either, because you are going to forget about part of your family, or you are going to go all over the place. It's why it's so important to have a harmony. And at the beginning, it's hard to get there because it's a habit that we have to create. Like you were saying before, network marketing is simple, but to get there is not as easy because we had to fight with our habits, our beliefs, everything, and we have to make sure that we are very structured. We don't have to be perfect, by the way. There's a guy that I admire that he said, perfection is the friend of procrastination. You can't go perfect because many people wait to be perfect, to know everything exactly the way they're supposed to, products, all the ingredients. But the reality, if you wait for that, you're never going to start the business. The perfection, remember, is the friend of procrastination. You just go into action right away. And by the way, you were asking one of the things that I advise somebody, go into action right away. Even if you made a mess, it's why you have an upline. We fix it. We work with you to fix it.
And one of the things that I hear you is that when you call Steve Lee, he became your business partner.
Correct.
So you
100%.
support each other. So what I hear is that you have to find someone like what you did, a business partner that have the same goals and they want to achieve the same thing what you want.
Yeah, and we want to learn. I agree. Sorry, I interrupt you.
No, and that's very, very, very important.
Mm-hmm. Totally, because we were learning at the same time. However, even that we were learning, he has some gift that I didn't have, and I have some gift that he didn't have, and we were working together those. And that's why, by the way, one of the things when you are building your business and you're bringing people, it's like you are creating your board of directors in a traditional company. Your board of directors of the people that you're bringing in, the people that you want to be your partners, they're your partners. The same thing, you are part of the board of directors of your upline. And that's why it's so important that you work together with them. And by develop that board of directors from that point of view, like a traditional business, this is way better than a traditional business. But this is the leader that I have, 1, 2, 3, 4. After you have 4 strong in the board of directors, probably you're going to be a 7-figure earner when you have 4 strong board of director personal members. And that's the beauty about this business. And you are partners, but at the same time, everybody's independent. You don't depend on somebody else, but you work together with other people. That's very different.
George, do you have a degree here in the U.S.?
Not in the U.S. I graduated in computers in South America, in Venezuela, but here I don't.
Okay. Do you practice your profession from your country in the U.S.?
No, never. Not even in my country. I graduated, gave the diploma to my mom, and I went into real estate sales. That was in South America. Because what happened is because I went to my only interview was in IBM. Everybody knows what is IBM. And when I got there, I saw that everybody was dressed the same way: white shirts, dark ties, very short hair. At the time, believe it or not, I have long hair. And when I interviewed with a guy that was the vice president of IBM for the Caribbean, he was a friend of my dad. They went to school together. My dad was an economist. And he said, well, there are some rules here. You have great grades, etc. But some rules, one of them, you have to cut your hair. And I stand up, I said, thank you, but no thank you. And I left just because he said that. So I was only 20 years old, but or 21 maybe.
Wow.
I don't remember.
Wow. Do you think you need to have a degree to become successful?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, one of my upline is a man that is 96 years old right now, by the way. Wow. And he was a butcher, never finished high school. Actually, he went to only 1 year in high school. That's it. And he had earned over $100 million. That's one of the legends in network marketing. They call him Jimmy the Butcher. And he's 96. Yeah, he's 96. Imagine.
Wow. Wow. And let me ask you, are you a good speaker in public?
I am a passionate speaker, but the first time I was scared to death. I made a mess on the stage, literally. And I don't know why I went with a free briefcase to the stage, but my briefcase opened and papers were flying all over the place. But I knew in order to share the message, I had to be a good speaker. I started speaking in the small home meetings for 2 people there, 3 people there, 4 people there. Eventually, I was talking in front of 100, 1,000, thousands of people. I would say that I'm passionate about speaking. I get still nervous, by the way. Still, I'm waiting there. I'm nervous. But as soon as I'm on the stage, I feel that I have to share a message. And that's why I get so excited.
So let me ask you, do you have any mentors or any books that made a difference on the process?
Yes, many mentors. The first one, it was my dad, because he was a very personal development guy. He was an entrepreneur, very positive person. And for me, he was the one that introduced me to personal development, to the books of Napoleon Hill and different things. And in the business, I have many. One of them, I'm talking about Jimmy Smith, the butcher, because
Oh,
I call him the butcher because he was a butcher. And he was an incredible, especially because he started at 75 years of age. He was broke at 75, and now he has earned over $100 million. No high school diploma.
so with no high school diploma, he
No high
started
school
at
diploma.
75 years old. And he already made over $100 million in network marketing
Yeah, in 21 years.
in 21 years. Wow.
Yes.
Wow, wow,
And,
wow.
and he earned multiple millions per year. It's not that he made, even today, multi-million per year. And he says something that I learned a lot. He say, people ask him, you have so much money already. You have so many investments, because his investments are making him as much money as the network marketing industry. And they ask him, why you don't retire? And he says something very important. If I retire, I expire. We don't want to expire.
That's a good one. That
I
is
know.
a very good one. What about books? Any books that you
Mhm.
would recommend?
Yeah, on personal development, my first one was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and also As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Those two were my first two personal development books. And then, of course, Bob Proctor. I love everything that Bob Proctor had written and recorded, etc. Anthony Robbins, obviously, he's more modern, but he also was incredible for me, incredible. And this is on the personal development side. On the network marketing side, the first one was actually Zig Ziglar. Most people don't know, but he started in network marketing, Zig Ziglar. Famous personal development salespeople, etc. He always was an inspiration to me, and he was the first one, I think, on the network marketing industry. The second one was a guy called John Kalench. John Kalench was the writer of that book that Steve Lee and I got as the manual to build our business. It was
Wow.
called How to Be the Best That You Can Be an MLM. And eventually I met him and became friends. But that was the book that we were using to build our business. And of course, it's outdated because many things today that have changed. But John Kalinch also was one. And I still keep having new mentors, because if we want to keep growing, we have to keep learning. And then when you keep learning, you're going to find new mentors. It's simple.
And you know what? Gene Rome was involved in network marketing. Yeah, and most people they don't know that. Most people, George, they don't know that. I mean, network marketing is a professional career that with a minimum investment, you can make a lot of money. It's not easy,
Mhm.
okay, but it's possible. You're well known international. I mean, you make millions of dollars, and you help people make millions of dollars too. And I want you to tell me about that. But how do you build business, international business over 20 countries? How do you do that? God, that's a dream for anyone to have business in more than 20 countries.
Yes. Now, today is easier than when we start doing it, by the way, because we have social media, etc. But before, and I still teach that, by the way, we build locally and we grow internationally. Why I say that? The first person that I have, for example, in Australia, I met him in Las Vegas.
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't go to Australia. That was the first person. And the same happened with many people, many groups that we have in different countries. In Mexico, we're here in the US. In Canada, they were here in the US. Because that's one, by the way, one of the blessings to live in the US, that people come from everywhere. The same Canada. Because I have people in Canada that open business in Hong Kong, and then in Taiwan, in different places. You start in the US. Now, today, with social media, give you the advantage that you can actually reach. And by accident, when we open another countries, I did it with a couple of countries. I post, we are going to be opening a blank country in whatever months. I forgot how many months, but I was saying there. And then people start asking in social media, when are they opening? I know how to people there, but the most surprising happened one time. I got a call from messages, on Facebook, and then they told me they wanted to do an interview with me. And I said, sure. And I said, yeah, because I understand you are going to be opening your company in our country, and we want to interview you.
Oh, wow.
Wow. And that happened how? Because I posted on Facebook that we were opening in that country. That's why today social media make it easier. However, always remember there are a lot of people in the US that came from another country or they know somebody from another country. And that's the easiest and the simplest way, as simple as that you try to go, for example, okay, we are opening the UK. I'm going to fly there. You don't know anybody. Let's find people that know somebody there here or through social media. I would believe that today, like I said, it's easier. Again, it's not easy, but it's easier than when we started in network marketing.
Okay. So most people, I hear that they said that network marketing, the people at the beginning or the top people make the money. That means the people that is on the top, that the people on the bottom, they don't make no money. What can you say to those people?
Well, the best example is in the company where we were moving probably around $200 million a year in products. I have 4 people that make more than me that were part of my organization. They were making also millions, but they were below me and they were making more money.
So you were on the top and they were your downline.
Yes, and they were making more than me. And in between me and my upline, there were over 150 people, and I was making money more than all of them except my upline. That was the only one that I know. But every 100 that were in between, I was making way more money than them. And most of my people that were leaders were making more money than them. And this, by the way, that doesn't happen in any corporation. You never, ever are going to make more money than the CEO and the president of the company. Never. Here, you can make more money than the people that bring you up. And the many people are up on your upline because, and the evidence is that we have done it before. And people in my group have done it, making more than me. I love it. And by the way, I love that when somebody comes and say, George, I ain't going to make more money than you. Let's do it. I don't get jealous. On the contrary, because you still are going to get bonuses. Still, you are going to make money. And plus, it's so incredible when somebody passed you because you say, holy cow, I'm glad. That was a good example.
That's a good win-win. And that makes you feel good. I mean, when people is, and that goes to the next question. Do you help people make the kind of money you make, the millions of dollars that you make? Because I know you have, but can you just share a little bit? How many you have? I said you have people that you help make $1 million, $2 million, $3 million in your career. Is that correct?
Correct. And some of them even more, yes.
Even more than that.
Yeah, some of them even more. And by the way, some of them not only make millions in network marketing, but they diversify investments, etc. And one of them, his income per year is probably over $30 million a year because the investment that he did being a 7 income earner in network marketing. Network marketing, like you said before about Jim Brown, he was in the board of directors of many companies, but his first million came from network marketing.
Yeah.
And that's the way that he allowed himself to diversify.
Yeah. And most people, they don't know that. I mean, and that's very important how this industry changed different type of people. Not only, people like you and me or someone like Jim Rome and so many other successful people that get involved in network marketing because it's a good business model. So just going back to that question, so you help multiple people reach more than $1 million. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's go back.
Probably over 50 people. Probably over 50 or 50.
Over 50. Okay.
Yeah. 50 people.
That's very, very impressive. So now let me ask you this. So from the beginning, you had 3 jobs. Okay. And
correct.
No English. You were looking for an opportunity. You were looking on the USA Today ads, asking for people, hey,
that's right.
What is your business? Can I make money? Pretty much, right? So, and maybe some people laugh at you saying, that's not a real business. That's not even legal. That's a scam. Because that happened to me. Did that happen to you at the beginning?
Oh, yeah. It was so bad that even, and this is going to sound too harsh, but even the pastor of my church told me that I was going to go to hell because that what I was getting involved was not legal. Even the pastor said that to me. And the reason I say it's harsh, of course, when I left, I was upset and I did tell him, but I thought in my head, I'm going to show him. And it's funny because 3 or 4 years later, that I was doing really well. He said, I knew George could be successful in this after he said the first time that was illegal, that was something weird, etc. But yeah, you're going to have, if you don't have critics, by the way, that means that you're not doing anything. When you have haters, it's because you are doing something. If you don't have haters, it's because you're not doing absolutely anything. I hate to say it, but this is the truth. The more success you have, the more stuff you do to be successful. Even before you become successful, you're going to start having haters. Even you become successful.
And they're going to start talking about you. You know what? He's lucky. Or they're going to be making stories. I mean, all kind of type of stories about you.
Yeah.
So,
and if you make money, they say that you were lucky. And they say, come on, I was lucky because I did it. You didn't do it.
What about your family? I mean, how do your family feel when you became successful?
Well, most of my family is in South America. Now my brother is here, but it's why in Venezuela, where I came from, network marketing was not really big when I left. And it's why at first they didn't understand what the heck I was doing. Now it became big eventually. But at first they didn't understand what was happening really. Now friends and neighbors, they were totally against it at first. But then it started changing because not all of them, by the way, like I said, many of them eventually were saying that I was just lucky. I was in the right place at the right time. Really? Now you're coming with that?
Anybody that you want to recognize on the show? I mean, anybody that made a difference on your life and your career? You want to take
definitely. I'm going to start with Steve Lee because he was the first person that was my upline that we were working together and believed that we could be successful. Not only believe that I was going to be successful, but he was going to be successful, and the same way around. I was doing the same thing. And that's the first person that I have to thank. And then after that, of course, I have many people that have been participating, like Jimmy Smith, like I was saying, this 96-year-old guy. I mean, he believed in me when when he started making $1,000 a day, the first time, that was before he hit her first million. I said, I wish I could make $1,000 a day. Well, let's do it. You are just a few months behind me. And eventually I hit that too. It's cool. It's really cool.
Wow. So here on my show, on Edgardo Valdivieso Show, we're going to be inviting a very successful people like you, George, in Spanish and English to come and share the story, okay? For that reason, you want to subscribe and give us a like because this channel is going to grow. It's going to grow. And you don't want to miss any of these stories, these amazing stories that you can take this experience and apply it on your life. So, George, do you want to leave a legacy? Or how do you want to be remembered?
Yes. Well, before I say that what you're doing right now is very important because you are creating, first of all, you are becoming a mentor of people that probably you're never going to meet. Just the fact that you have a show like this, many people are going to watch one of the speakers and say something like, or you, and they're going to say, geez, I can do this. And then the person one day is going to be super successful. And you never are going to know that, but you became a mentor. That's why it's important that you are doing today with the show. Very important. Now, to answer your questions, the legacy, it's very important to leave a legacy, in my opinion, is that people can reach whatever goal they want. But they have, of course, they have to put the action. But anything is possible if you really believe on it. And that's more important than leaving a legacy of money or mansions or hotels that you build or whatever, because that's what people are going to use in order to become more successful. The legacy, the important that you can reach anything you can reach. And I have seen it working in my life. You set up goals, and sometimes some of them seem impossible, and one day happen. I heard a while ago, many years ago, that impossible goals just take a little longer. That's it. Impossible goals, they just take a little longer, but they will happen.
That's great, George. So pretty much you're saying anything is possible if you put your goals and you're focused on your goals every single day and you never quit. Sooner or later, you're going to achieve success.
But something that you say, the focus, while you focus, expand. Then be careful where you're focusing, because where you focus, expand. If you're focusing in problems and challenges, etc., there are going to be more challenges. Less money, you're going to have less money. But if you focus in your goal, that's also going to expand. Think about that.
Yeah, you got to focus. You got to put the time and, success. They're going to come. Sooner or later, they're going to come. George, once again, it's been an honor to have you on my show, okay? And they can follow you on Instagram, Facebook, and what else? TikTok.
Yeah, I have a website that's called whoisgeorgeruiz.com. I'm kind of rebuilding it right now, but you can go there if you want. It's whoisgeorgeruiz.com. And of course, Facebook, definitely, because Facebook, I always there, and also Instagram, but most Facebook. And also YouTube I have a channel that is going to become way more active, the YouTube channel that we have right now. And again, Edgardo, thank you for inviting me here, because what you're doing is amazing. I really recommend anybody to watch these videos, because one thing that you see in that video could be the thing that's going to change your life. Doesn't matter who the speaker is.
Well, your story coming to this country, okay, with no English, 3 jobs, and get involved in network marketing, make millions of dollars, not only for yourself, by helping more than 50 people to reach more than $1 million. Wow, my friend, it's been an honor once again to be here on my show. And for that, you do not want to miss this. Subscribe, give us a like, because once again, this channel is only going to grow and grow. Bye, everyone.